This is your host, Rambunctious.
And your co-host, Tayamu Denku. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick the passion. Pick the passion.
Oh,
We cut that out.
Brewin.
All right.
Who's this guy? You know, I don't need that.
So he already said it. We got Breeze Brewin on the episode today. Very excited. This is gonna be fun, man. We talking about his album Hindsight. I also found out some things about you and doing research about you that you're a teacher, and that's what you was talking about going to work, right?
Yes, and it's been a lot of Zooms, too many.
Oh,
Zooms.
okay. Well, appreciate you doing this one. So we had we can get into a lot of things. You have this new record, and it's the first time solo. Just what does that feel like in terms of preparing for it, or how long were you making this record? And you know what I mean?
This record's been like honestly a long time in the making. Thinking back, from the first time I had the idea, it's about 15 years.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so as part of the group, that has been a priority. And then, other things like teaching have definitely been a priority. Kids, family. But always got the pads. I got a crate full of pads, and you get the ideas, and you might have them, and then you just keep kind of adding to it little by little, and then before you know it, Is that how you write for tracks? Like, is it an idea first that you write down, or is it random? Do you get a hook? Do you get a bar? Like, the bars come. They're like I try to just like collect a little at a time, because that's really, if I don't do that, I won't do nothing. So right. There's definitely some patience involved. Right. But it gets done. It gets done eventually, and there's I don't mind everything else I'm doing, because that's life. Even musically, it's like there's a lot of collaborate. I'll do a lot of collabs. I'm actually trying to be more selective, just because a verse you write for somebody else's project is dope. Yeah. But it takes time to write that verse, and it might be about sometimes the conversation, all of that's great, but it's not helping your catalog or your legacy at times. And, you just got to be careful with that. So, because I've done a lot of, if I counted up the amount of collaborations I've done since I started Hindsight, I'd have another Hindsight. Yeah. But it's dope. That's a part of hip hop. It's like meeting other people, just building on the art, building on ideas, and coming up with more music. Yeah. So it's taken a minute. Long story short, it's definitely taken a hot minute.
Yeah. I mean, well worth his weight.
Do you look forward to? Once shows kind of come back, if whenever that may be, do you plan on going out there and performing this record and pushing this to people?
Oh, most definitely. There's probably only a couple of songs I won't perform off of this record. Like I think about Devil's Advocate. I probably won't perform that. Like that song there was a purpose to it.
That's one of my favorite. That's actually one of the ones we chose. But
I love that record, but it's like this dude. I wish I just want him to go away.
Yeah, you don't want to shine. You don't want to shine an unnecessary light, right?
Yeah, it's turning like Candyman with him. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm a little nervous in the next 3.5 years. I'm like, yo, this dude could be back.
Man, let's
so but it's possible. because, you know, and
Excuse
honestly,
me.
I might have to figure out a way to address his ghost. Because even right now, I feel like it's a ghost to the dude because of the way everybody else saw his hustle, for lack of a better term. But it is a hustle.
Absolutely.
And they're like, yo, let me just put that in my game.
Mhm.
And you got a bunch of little dudes, you know, his sons, and they out here.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather not perform that, just to not, you know, give him any extra strength,
I feel that.
Yeah.
because he should be out of here, but he's looming.
Yeah.
Oh
You're not
yeah.
lying, man.
Yep.
You're not lying.
He's looming. And I guess the other joint would be Mentor, because it's two of me. You know what I mean? Mentor is
Right.
me rhyming with me.
Right.
And, unless, you know, I ask the crowd, well, what y'all want to be? Y'all want to be the young?
Yeah.
Y'all trying to be the young boy or the OG? What
Hey,
we doing?
It might be dope if they pulled it off. If the crowd pulled it off, it might be kind of sick.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I don't know. I'll ask Spinner, be like, yo, do a joint and just take off the young boy. I mean, he got the mixes, so maybe I'll holler at Spinner and just mute that dude.
Yeah, right. That's what's up, man.
But that's an ill thought. So you know, I'm wondering if that joint is actually you know, performable. But other than that, I do all of them.
Yeah.
I do all of them. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've actually been blessed to. I mean, we shared the stage at Yule Prague back in the day. So I mean,
Okay.
I've been blessed to see you do a solo set. Definitely dope. And I've actually been blessed to see. I saw Juggaknots perform at Scribble Jam the year that y'all were there.
Yeah, no doubt. That was fun, man. That was wild fun.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think all artists are looking forward to that time when, you know, shows hopefully come back so we can, you know, do what we love to do aside from, you
Word.
know, regular
Like,
life, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I mean, I would
Hey,
definitely
Mike.
like to see the record.
Yo, my internet connection is messing up. I'm gonna go off and get this connected better real quick. Sorry,
all
y'all.
right.
Yeah. No, we are.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely like to, you know, see you rock that live, man, because there's definitely some fresh joints on the record.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
So, real quick, the uh producer collaborations. How, like, did you already have relationships with all these people? 'Cause I mean, you've been in the game for a long time, so like, you know, you got like Maceo, you know, obviously he did a joint.
Yep.
Marco Polo did a joint. Um, I mean, you got dope production all over the project.
Thank
So
you.
like,
Yeah, I was honored and blessed with a lot of those dudes. You know, with all of them. You know, the only cat I probably don't have like a long standing like relationship with would probably be Black Milk.
okay.
And I've always just honored his, you know, like I'm a huge fan of his work. I feel he don't get the credit he deserves, and he gets a lot of credit. I think he should be mentioned with like, you know, the top 5 producers of all time. But
of course.
I was glad to be able to work with that brother. And everybody else is, you know, pretty close to family. So that was dope.
That's what's up. Ram, just to touch base, I just asked him if he had close relationships with the producers on the record, since he had a bunch of different dope producers on it.
Yeah. So you said all but
Black Milk was the only one that he didn't have.
Yeah, that one was pretty much like business, like reach out to his people and you know what I mean, see if we could make something work. And luckily we could, you know.
What made you expand to that many producers? A lot, you know what I mean? Not many people do that many producers on a project anymore. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Did you want that eclecticness and that difference per track, or?
Yeah, like honestly, I will definitely. I still hear a track and it's like, oh, cool. You know, I'm gonna use that. Sometimes I don't know the exact purpose, and other times, right off the bat, I know what it is. And then other times, the track will inspire. So the Mace joint, I didn't have that song in mind. But then, you know, when I heard it and I was like, yo, you know, it'd be slick if we, you know,
yeah.
We talked about what I talked about, you know.
Right.
I guess that one and I Papa, those joints came like I heard the beat and was like, oh, I'm a freak that, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Well, we can start getting into tracks too, man. And then kind of, you know, unless you had a couple of other questions you want to ask.
Yeah, we could jump into it.
All right, well, we could play devil's advocate since you had already talked about, you know, Trump, since you mentioned that, aforementioned.
Yeah.
But we had devil's advocate, taking notes and the application, and then we were gonna have you pick one. What do you think about those right there?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Cool. All right.
And I actually think I want to play the King Oxymoron.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's another one.
Because I really like the Marco Polo beat on there.
Me too.
For sure.
And I'm a big fan of wordplay.
Yeah, you talking the shit on that one for sure.
Definitely did. I mean, definitely.
That's what's up.
Cool.
So what do you want to start with, Ram? You want to
Well, I was thinking devil's advocate since you already talked about Trump. We, you know, touch on that quick and then keep going. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So
cool.
So this is
all right. Word.
Devil's Advocate, Brewin. Let's play it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
There has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it.
This for Mr. President, privilege and overdrive. Wish you could be hesitant. Twitter finger override, stuff is gonna stress you out. Test you, can you handle it? Wonder you the devil's child or just the devil's advocate. This for Mr. President, privilege and overdrive. Wish you could be hesitant. Twitter finger override, stuff is gonna stress you out. Test you, can you handle it? Wonder you the devil's child or just the devil's advocate. Let's talk about them emails for Hillary. You saw James call me like a female, prepared to be part of your games. Only when he questioning about Russia, you calling them nuts. All aggressive, talking tough, but for sure it's a bluff. And for the parkland slaughter, he's gotta do better statements. Maybe spark plans offering possible legislation. Anyway, change truly seemed fast though. Bet the NRA gave a newly reamed asshole. And if you raised here but born to fall, yo, here's your plan. Instilling straight fear or torn apart from all your fam. He like that's the way it goes with America first. Be talking what about the dough with America's purse. And to the scientists, be working and give them the facts. About environment, he talking about giving the axe. He like how this here recorded, I call it a fluke. He like, I bet there's reports that could offer rebukes. This for Mr. President, privilege and overdrive. Wish you could be hesitant. Twitter finger override, stuff is gonna stress you out. Test you, can you handle it? Wonder you the devil's child or just the devil's advocate. This for Mr. President, privilege and overdrive. Wish you could be hesitant. Twitter finger override, stuff is gonna stress you out. Test you, can you handle it? Wonder you the devil's child or just the devil's advocate. What up with that bomb that he dropped? Haiti African shithole. Said y'all pretty shocked, that crazy bastard, that's schizo. Thinking this guy's dumb, why even deny? Come on, that shit should've surprised none. In fact, that shit's old. Goes back to Charlottesville. That shit's some nonsense. In quotes, protesters armed to kill. Mission accomplished with supremacists banging their chest, showing more pride. Especially when he yapping, it's messy on both sides. Remember 5 boys up in Central Park? You really hated, lot of noise. For they deaf you balked when vindicated. If y'all think they would get an apology, no. Talking about if they gave confessions, it gotta be so. And to them ballers be on a knee for what they can't stand, to be a call for equality. During the flag's anthem, he like protesting whatever, denying the flag. He be like, no question, America, fire they ass. This for Mr. President, privilege and overdrive. Wish you could be hesitant. Twitter finger override, stuff is gonna stress you out. Test you, can you handle it? Wonder you the devil's child or just the devil's advocate. This for Mr. President, privilege and overdrive. Wish you could be hesitant. Twitter finger override, stuff is gonna stress you out. Test you, can you handle it? Wonder you the devil's child or just the devil's advocate. And to my Puerto Ricans, how it's not a game after Maria. Shit, y'all sort of freaking out, a lot of pain, asking for leadership. He frowns, yeah, I see you, but check your tone. How about getting your people to help your own?
helping Latinos.
And to the transgender soldiers, of course, the thought's crazy. How y'all can't blend with all the reports that they fought bravely. When really in a hurry, he's scurrying fear. So what's your reasoning for worrying? Sir, we unclear.
I think it's disgraceful.
What up with supporters not even asking how could he? We're hearing recordings, you speaking, grabbing the pussy. I'm hearing some kind of thinking and give me the shivers. How y'all compare him to Dr. King and some biblical figures? Seeming like something stormy coming. Bet Stormy would beg to differ. Dude really a horny bum and he gives Stormy no reciprocal. Melania is feeling whatever she tired. I'm thinking it gotta be real cause that Twitter be quiet.
Respect for
This
women.
for Mr. President, privilege and overdrive. Wish you could be hesitant. Twitter finger
Sample,
override.
dope.
Stuff is gonna stress you out. Test you, can you handle it? Wonder you the devil's child or just the devil's advocate. This for Mr. President, privilege and overdrive. Wish you could be hesitant. Twitter finger override. Stuff is gonna stress you out. Test you, can you handle it?
Sign,
Wonder you
sign,
the devil's
sign.
child or
Sign
just
on
the
with
devil's
devil.
advocate.
Yeah, man, that's a tough track, man. I've heard
Yeah,
a few
man.
people try to do Trump tracks talking about Trump, and I haven't liked any. But I like this one a lot. I mean, like zero, and so I heard. So it's refreshing for me, man. I heard this one. I was like,
That's
yo,
what's up.
this is hard. This is dope.
There's
Yeah.
actually no sample in that record. There's no sample in there.
The dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, I
dun,
played that joint.
Oh
That's
shit,
it.
Oh,
that's
shit.
that's dope.
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
that. Shout out to Machine and Ableton.
Oh yeah. My fault. I'm sitting there like the sample's dope. You're like, nope.
Nah, I appreciate that. That's the goal. That's the
Yeah,
goal.
you want it to
You know what
sound.
I mean?
That's
I
dope.
had to sample and resample and like do a couple of things to make it sound like I didn't want, I mean, I tried to do it off the, I took it from, I got the idea from the Key and Peele, when they would do the anger translator.
yeah.
So
Oh, that's one of my favorite comedy things
I don't know
ever,
if
man.
it's pomp of circumstance. I don't know the name per se, but I played it and I was, I mean, honestly, I wanted, the Daily Show was some shit to pick that shit up. I wanted to be,
Yeah,
I was trying to be
yeah.
the theme song for that bad boy, but that didn't happen. But to me, it still sounded hard. Shout out to J Zone.
Yeah.
If y'all want some hard drums.
Okay.
J Zone's dope.
That was off of one of J Zone's drum breaks.
Oh,
So,
word.
okay.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
That's
what's
my
up.
dude. So get that and shout the man out and give him credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're clean and hard as a mug. So everybody need that in their life.
That's what's up. Well, shout him out. Good for shouting him out.
Yeah. I actually really love how dope you are with the concepts. Like I don't really hear too many MCs nowadays do as many concepts as I feel like you kind of touched on this album. And I think that's super dope because I think a lot of MCs today are lacking in doing concept records. I know me personally, I don't do enough concepts. I just do hard ass bar tracks a lot, and
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
but I'm saying like concepts are dope, like especially when someone can hit them properly. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Description.
Nah, I love to get a topic and try to freak it and stick to it.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's from the era I come up in. And honestly, I love a good shit talking joint too.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. But I do feel that there's a beauty in like kind of zeroing in and flipping it. And if you can do it from like a alternative approach, I just think that's good for the craft.
Yeah.
Because it's like, as a writer, there's so many ways, and I'm an English teacher, so it's like, so
what grade, by the way, may I ask real quick?
12th grade,
Okay.
ELA and ELA AP, ELA as well. So I mean, I'm pretty nerdy with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get
my kids are like, fam, you really like it like that? And I'm like, yeah, I actually really dig this shit. Like, y'all hear that paradox? Woo!
Right.
I be in class like that. They be like, I was like, if I had the fire emojis on this line. And they're like, yo, man, be easy. And I'm like, nah. This is John Keats, y'all. This is John Keats. And
So
like,
you ever have any of them? I'm sure some of them probably like some of your stuff. Some of them probably don't. Something like that.
I don't talk about it. I don't say,
all,
hey, I'm a rapper.
Okay.
I don't. I mean,
So you never had somebody like, yo, I got you, let's battle, or anything like that?
Nah, I've heard cats say, yo, this and that. You talk a lot about music. Do you rhyme? And I rhyme for them. I'm like,
right.
I don't know. Do I rhyme? Check this out. And they're like, oh, you rhyme. You rhyme.
That's funny. That's funny.
But I don't be like, yo, check my Instagram. Like, nah. Some of them will find it. Some of them will find it. And actually, like, my students who have graduated, I mean, I've been teaching 18 years. So I have students who have graduated now. I mean, I got students now that's in their 30s.
Wow, yeah.
You know? But just cracking 30, y'all. Just cracking 30.
Yeah.
But,
like slow down, right?
But I got a video coming up. I'm trying to finish, and I got a couple of my students who have graduated. They're like, "Yo, we'll do it. We'll do it. You know, well, safely outside, but we want to act in this video for you."
Right.
You know, I said, you know, and they're cool. I mean, and the beauty of that is, I'm able to, you know, I'm from the Bronx. I love the Bronx, and just to incorporate hip hop in my teaching, and then for that to be an extension of who I am in regards to the community. I just, you know, I a lot of times I'll bring in something. I'll bring in a song,
okay,
and I'll show it to them. Good example. A couple years back. For my teachers, here's a hack. You want to teach conflict? Kendrick, Black Boy Fly. So Kendrick has a song called Black Boy Fly, and it's I believe it was maybe it's a bonus on Section 80 or Good Kid, Mad City. It's one of the early joints. It's like 10 years old now, the song. And it's such a good example of like just a different type of conflicts, you know, like person versus person, person versus self, person versus community, and each verse showcases that. I don't know if he did that cognizantly, but he does that. And I definitely think there's a lot of other brothers out here. I mean, my man won a Pulitzer, you know, and I felt it was deserving. I think there's other MCs who could have won Pulitzers. Right. Absolutely. And or groups. So, you know, this art form of ours is serious. Right. It is. Yeah. If you know, back when we first started and you know, rockers and all this, so like, all right, that's not real art, that's not real music. Right. Now whatever. The biggest art form in the world, right? Biggest art form in the world. And it's in like if you want to say that hip hop isn't music, then say poetry isn't music, and say songwriting isn't music. Because at the end of the day, it encompasses all of that in a way that's more effective and more potent than, I mean, to this right now, currently, any art form on the planet. So, you know, I'm all for just showing them the potential of this art form that has nurtured and fed me now for 35 years. Right. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I've been writing since I was 12. I guess it's even longer if we're talking about the first song I heard that impacted me. What is that song? Do you remember? The Kendrick joint. You said the first one that impacted you. The first one that impacted me, it might be. I mean, what could have been? Could have been. It's probably Planet Rock. Okay. Honestly, Planet Rock was probably the first one that I heard in the neighborhood, and I was like, "What is that?" Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do. There's a tape. Sound like Planet Rock is the right name, because it felt like it came from another planet and came down to us. It's a fact. and rocked our planet. And I mean, I was in Skate Key and different joints and pop jams and here and all that. That's probably where it started for me.
Yeah. I can feel that. There's a tape of me as a kid in Louisville, Kentucky, somewhere hitting that record and play button at the same time, and I'm singing word for word on Planet Rock. You know what I mean? So I get it.
That shit is real. It's so powerful.
You know what I mean?
And it's like the sound and it's everything. It's like, what more could you want?
Right.
Honestly. So I'm a huge just advocate. Like you hear some cats say, I'm a this that just happened to rap. I'm a gangster who just happened to rap. Like, hey.
Yeah.
There's
I'm a fucking rapper,
that's just in my veins and that's in my soul.
Yeah.
And that's, I can't even think of other than, the reggae or the soul music in my house, like that was my foundation. That was what, pretty much all it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to be able to share these things with kids. And I sometimes I get a little bit discouraged because
you said they do or you do?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Because nothing against what's present to them, but it feels very short-sighted. I mean, I like when, I'm like, all right, we're gonna check out this Nas joint, and a kid will be like, oh yeah, my old head played that for me. And I feel like we need that as a society. That's part of our tapestry. We need to keep that. I don't know, man, that legacy. The legacy is not just for the artists. I mean, it's for the listeners. It's for all of us. And we need to keep that. We need to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
personally.
Absolutely. That is a fact.
But
I actually
devil's
salute a lot of
advocate,
young dudes.
I'm glad it was there to do what it needed to do. And if I could be one of the artists, I felt more artists needed to make songs like that.
Yeah.
Over the past 5 years, and eventually at the end it got to it, and some more came out right at the end. But I wanted to put it right when we started voting.
Right. Yeah.
So when it was like early voting, that was the day it dropped.
That's what's up. Yeah.
That's why it dropped before the album dropped initially.
Right. Yeah.
And shout out to DJ Boo. He did the horns.
Okay.
We did the horns together.
And that instrumental's out there somewhere, I think. Right? You released the instrumental also.
I wanted cats to do their versions, and I wanted to post it. It never caught on, but shout out, like 3 brothers did it. And you know what?
Oh, well, if that's still game, man, tell our listeners where they can go, or our viewers where they can go find it.
I believe you can still find that in our Bandcamp. You just could download it straight up out of the Bandcamp.
Because I mean, hopefully
there'll be some cats in here who might want to do it.
Well, hopefully he don't come back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, of course not.
But if he does, maybe people can hit him with their shit over that. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So what kind of lessons do you use a song for? Like when you bring it in, what's the lesson look like? You know what I mean? I don't want to too far into that, but I was curious what that looks like. Like you play them the song, do they write a paper about it or?
In certain instances, yes, but that'll be like, so as you mentioned, that's a great question, because it has gotten to that level where it's like maybe the unit is on music journalism.
Okay.
So I will show them what other people have written about hip hop. Like I'll play a song and then I'll be like, all right, well, what are y'all here? I'm like, I don't know, he's just rhyming. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll show them an actual piece of journalism. They're like, damn, all of that's in there? And I'm like, yes. Right. I said, if we're gonna look at anything I give y'all, if I'm gonna give you Langston Hughes and we look at it and I'm asking you guys to find the meaning, I try to give them the tools to be analytical. I try to give them the tools to be able to analyze on a high level. Yeah. So I want them to listen to music with those tools in mind.
Yeah, I think it's important. Yeah, it's just like reading the book and interpreting what the author's trying to say. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's more enjoyable. It is.
And maybe that doesn't work for all hip hop. And we've had a mumble rap talk with the kids.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know what he's saying.
Like I
then
genuinely don't know what he's
I
saying.
literally don't know what he's saying. It sounds like sound. And that's about it. And they're like, nah, but he's talking about this. I'm like, for real? And certain times the kids will be like, nah, if you listen and he's making this, and he's, you know, it's kind of like double meaning and this and that. I'm like, well, I just don't get it. But even that is a rich conversation where I'm like asking them to actually, I guess, advocate for their music and for the status of that music. It's either going to be a piece of work, a piece of art, or a piece of shit. There's not much in between.
That's a quotable. That's a quotable right there, man.
It's a piece of work, a piece of art, or a piece of shit. Those are your categories. And if you listen to any song, it's going to be those.
Hey, I already know what clip. I already know I'm pulling the clip from this part of the episode right here.
Hey,
right,
man.
That might be the new pick apart the passing tagline.
That's what it is. Like if you just listen to any hip hop that we've loved, like we talk about what was the early joints that you know I love. The Rapping Duke, the hard is on the list. It ain't just for Big. That was me. I remember being, you know, walking around my little radio playing the hard, same way it was on my same mixtape with the Fat Boys.
Right.
You know what I mean? And in retrospect, that song was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There was some dude who was like, yo, I'm gonna make my voice sound like John Wayne, and I'm gonna rap, and it's gonna be fun. And it's like, hey, cool, this fun. That shit is trash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and no offense, if you're the Rapping Duke right now and you like 55, like, man, fuck that dude. And I'm like, your shit was trash.
I mean, I don't think honest opinions age, man. I think that I think they automatically age well.
I mean, but to his credit, as a kid, I was mesmerized because I ain't know no better, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like
and
I used to like buttermilk biscuits, but I'm not bumping buttermilk biscuits right now. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? But it's just what it is, and it's like, and I get it. You know, this song to turn up, and you know, and maybe we need another category. You know,
right. I always call it pop rap. You know, just fun shit.
Yeah,
pop
turn
rap.
Up.
We need something like that.
Something, you know what I mean?
yeah.
You know, but there's not many categories of what we do here.
Right.
And you know, I try to be in the first two categories. I try to be those, you know.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of that, man, I think we should go into the application.
Man.
That was kind of a perfect intro to the application to me, man. by default, you know.
No doubt.
I like that one a lot. That might be one of my favorite ones too.
I produced that one too, actually.
Yeah, love the beat on
okay.
it.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
So what's the approach then? Do you make the beat and then you say, okay, I think I'm gonna talk about this, or do you have the application idea?
Had the idea.
Okay.
Actually, the application was one of the front runners for the name of the album initially.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was thinking about it being like the album should be the application, but I couldn't find enough pieces to surround it. Sure. So I combined them all within this song. So, you know, like the first verse is like, I guess it's like, I wanted it to feel like somebody reviewing a resume. Like you went in and had an interview. And they were like, all right, cool. You filled out our application. Let's go over it. You know, because if you have an interview, they have their points. So, you know, hopefully that was the feel. And I was thinking, even to the point where it was like, I had artwork in my head for it. Like, I'll copy an application and like zoom in on it, and you'll have like name here and, you know, education. Work experience. Like I wanted all of that there. Education. I wanted to touch on all of those.
Right.
Yeah.
It definitely did, man.
That came across.
It definitely did. I was listening to it and I was like, man, another, and not to slight the title, I actually like the title, but I was thinking, man, another one could be to call the resume. You know, I was like, he could have called this the resume and that would have been dope too. That was, you know, as I'm listening to it. But I think the description of which you go into those points that somebody would say in an interview, it's crazy to me. And I was like, man, this is nuts. Like I've never heard that concept in a song. in any way. You know what I mean? I love that when new concepts, you know what I'm saying, and things I've never heard before, because that's rare in hip hop. I mean, there's been so much for somebody in this day and age to do something I've never heard was like, oh, that's dope. And maybe I just haven't heard it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I have either. That's kind of why I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And you know, we all working people, and it's like you got to go through that. You got to go through that scrutiny.
Yeah. And
the response to that tells you a lot. You know, like you might not want to work here.
Right.
This job might not be for you. Or this job is not what I thought it was going to be, just from the reviewing of that application or resume process. Right. You know, I've been at interviews where like, oh snap, now I'm good.
Yeah. And you know, real quick, and you got to sit there for a minute longer to be polite. Yeah.
Nah, it's not for me. No.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it, man. The application.
Yeah, this is the application, Breeze Brewin.
In this right place right here. Morning, miss. You have an appointment? Human resources. Yeah, I was told we're gonna go over my application. Oh, good morning, sir. Glad to meet you. Have a seat, cool, and my thanks in advance. My man, it's great that you grab my application after review questions. Have an impression, I'm your guy, truly qualified. You'll see after the session. Objective, collect respect, press the oppressive. Spokesperson for the folks hurting, aggressive progression to unvictim. Who the system stay dumping on. Did I say something wrong? Anyway, guess you're waiting. On to education, true schooling. Rugged, really, brothers barely knew. Fooling around was demeaning. You're clowning, even your boo you. Know some answers before you transfer to screw you. You wanna pass? Showing knowledge be never easy. Needed double class. Get sociology with your PE. How to get your fitness, man, or you get embarrassed. Cats would get a business class from Eric and Parrish. They're making it matter. Breaking the atoms to get sparked. I remember a few professors like Griff Lodge or Chris Parker. Looking back, definitely gather ways to get ahead. How to magnificently have it made from special education. And in certain ways it was rough, and yet and still gotta say that I wouldn't change it for nothing. What's that? Come again? Not oppressed a bit, just hold up. Listen, there's a lot that's left to discuss. Let's talk about my application. No doubt, I'm qualified for sure. I'm trying to ride with you. Let's talk about my application. Check it out, check it out. Let's talk about my application. No doubt, I'm qualified for sure. I'm trying to ride with you. Let's talk about my application. Check it out, check it out. Okay, you look concerned, hey, it's getting real intense. Maybe you should just turn the page to my experience. Been there and done that, from kid wearing a dunce cap to showing improving, sound moving closer to that crown. I started young, dumb, full of, come on now. Like my heart was a drum from the boogie, I'm all out, listen. But if I wasn't about funk, I wasn't functional. Like a brother was a punk if he was punctual. In time, my grind matured to find my sound. I do behind the mic, the board, and behind the counter too. So look it, I know the business, my man. Yet for real, you're looking like no, this isn't an advantage. You want no freshman dudes so that you can mold them. Them ask no question dudes when getting dough in. So then it could be actually better if I don't know. It's whatever, let's keep on going. Let's talk about my application. No doubt, I'm qualified for sure. I'm trying to ride with you. Let's talk about my application. Check it out, check it out. Let's talk about my application. No doubt, I'm qualified for sure. I'm trying to ride with you. Let's talk about my application. Check it out, check it out. As for criminal history, a felony or misdemeanor, though definitely tested, I've never been arrested. I met with some close calls a couple of times. I gave thanks. So far, you'll luckily find that page blank. Speaking of blank, is that an expression of disappointment? I just said I've never been to the joint yet. Ain't that a good thing? Ain't that a positive? You ask what the hood think? The hood don't want a bit. How about them references? How's my name dropping? You're not impressed, I get it, yeah, that's okay, stop it. Good Lord, it be all crazed, I'm beyond days. I just wanted some coins made from a coined phrase. Though I do it for nothing instead of not do it. I'm not sure times rough or times done got stupid. I wanna grind, but no, this here is sucker job. As I'm walking out, y'all dope, buffer knob.
Yo, that was cold, man. That's such a cold track, man.
Super dope.
I really like the
Thank
way
y'all.
you said the part. I've never been arrested. That whole part right there is so dope to me, because when I tell people I've never been arrested, it's a shock to people sometimes, and I'm like, that's why is that a shock? You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like
The craziest part
You know what I
is
mean?
I have been arrested.
oh,
but it's
okay.
like-
It was just for the song. Okay.
But nah, real talk. I'm with you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I got arrested on some dumb shit.
Yeah.
For some, I
I've gotten
didn't know-
lucky now. I've gotten lucky.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like I've never been arrested because the other things I maybe should have been arrested for. And I ended up getting arrested, like for, like a traffic, my license was suspended in some town that I forgot. You know what
shit.
I mean?
Damn.
And it was just like, I was between moving, I didn't check my mail, and I was driving, and it was like, they pulled me over and was like, could you get out the car? I was like, all right. So I get out the car, and then they're like, could you turn around? I'm like,
What the fuck?
all right.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So boom. And I ended up getting arrested and spending the night in jail on some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but you got cats in the game who are like, yeah, I got arrested, me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
some backwards ass shit.
and I feel like if that's part of your experience, by all means talk about that. But
Sure.
I do feel that some of these, the climate and dynamic of the music of some of the industry, and I'm not talking about like our real culture, I'm talking about the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, talk about that, put that out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, as black men, I don't want y'all to talk about that.
100%. I'm glad you're touching on it. That's kind of where I was going with it, but yeah, go ahead.
I want y'all to talk about, the good things. I want to talk about the pride that you have. I want to talk about the fact that you are not susceptible to the whims of a system that depends on you going to jail.
Yeah.
That literally is banking on it.
Right. Yeah.
That can't wait.
Yeah.
That literally are like, man, please get arrested.
Yeah. We'll be bankrupt without your bodies in that.
We
in that
need
cell,
your
you know what I
bodies.
mean? Right.
We need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that disappoints me. Like we do have to separate the industry from the culture. Because a lot of the people who are running the industry got nothing to do with the culture.
Absolutely.
And in fact, it's counter to what the culture
very much
stands
so. Very
for.
much. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Almost
to
a
what
damn
it
near
does.
attack. I mean, it's almost an attack more so than even counter. You know what I mean? There's things they do to literally attack our culture and make it.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean?
And,
obviously, you know.
And I just feel like we need to be more aware of that and more cognizant. And don't be a sucker.
Yeah.
Don't be a sucker. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's just like, for every Bobby Shmurda who comes out and is in, chilling at the All-Star game, there's literally millions of black men who are home and just trying to do everything in their power now to avoid recidivism, or they're so brainwashed and so downtrodden and beaten down by the system that they're like, all right, I'll do whatever I do until I'm back in the system. And just, coddled by the idea of like, all right, cool, I got a place to stay and I got my, 3 hots in a cot.
Yeah.
So, I did want to put that in there. That was part of it.
It's an important part of the song. And when I was listening to it, I loved the concept and everything. And then that was kind of I didn't expect it, but it was obviously welcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but on the application, they gonna ask, have you been arrested?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think the way it was phrased.
Like, uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that question.
Yeah.
But it's like, dope. It's there. And it's like, obviously, that could be a pitfall. So and then ironically, it's like in the game they want you to check yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring that up, but I appreciate y'all for checking that joint again. No samples.
Oh, nice. Okay.
No samples on that joint either.
Yeah. That's what's
Shout
up.
out
That beat is crazy.
What do you think? What do you think about so like the way people's attention spans are today, I love how you keep the formula from, you know, early, where, you know, you definitely use as much as you need to get your point across. Like, there's a lot of people nowadays, you know, they'll do one verse songs or two verse songs. They won't even dip into that third verse on a song nowadays. And I feel like a lot of your songs have you know, three verses, and that's dope to me, because me growing up, I'm waiting for that third verse, because I want to know, you know, where it's going. But I feel like nowadays, this attention span thing, people, they're like, oh, the song's not going to go to a third verse. Like, they're already expecting that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I you know, there's a little bit of that in this album. The joints where I do talk shit, they're two verses, you know. And I'm trying to give brothers the work, but it's like, you know, I've made my point. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel that shit. Yeah.
I'm rhyming. So I you know, all right, cool. Y'all got it, you know.
Yeah.
We ain't gotta be out here doing the filibuster. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? 100 bars, like, you know, I'm really this nice. I'm like,
right.
I caught it in the first 24. Like, you've made duly noted.
Yeah, like, you don't do too much in a sense.
You know what I mean? But it's like, if it's a topic, you know, and especially when we're talking about story arc,
you got to get into it, right?
You got a beginning, middle, and end. That's the test of time, ain't it? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when I'm teaching kids how to write short stories, I'm like, look, beginning, middle, end. And it doesn't apply to everything, but if it does, do it. You know, even if even if the third verse is shorter, and I Papa, honestly, that last verse, that's like really a conclusion. You know what I mean? It's not, there's not much more going on in regards to the story. The story was told in the first two, and then, you know, there's a conclusion in the last, so it's like 12 bars. Meanwhile, the other verses, I think they're either 20s or 16s. So, you know, like, this is a craft, and I'm not mad at these dudes, because what they're doing with 2 bars sometimes is spectacular.
Right. Yep.
And if I'm talking trash, I'll give you 24 bars, one long 24-bar verse, and I'm like, all right, y'all won. Right. Because I'm just talking shit, and it's like, you know, there's a challenge to that, because I'm not that interesting. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I mean,
but that's not true. But
y'all hit me, and it was a Saturday night. I thought it was Sunday. I'm like, all right, I'll be right there.
Like, I'm just chilling and shit.
I'm watching the Knicks. I'm like, damn, Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool, let's build. You know what I mean? It's like, I ain't had to call nobody and cancel nothing.
That's funny. Like, I happen to be just chilling until tomorrow anyway.
You know? I was working in the garden today. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's what's up. Well,
life is good. Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, so it's like, when I'm talking shit, you know, it's like, I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna play around with the words, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Talk some shit.
You want the next one? But if it's a concept, conceptually, like, nah, man, like, you gotta honor the concept. You gotta do what you can do to you know, to send the point home. And I hope, you know, it comes back to that, man, because like y'all right, we came up on an era of masterful craftsmen.
Yeah, man.
And I'm not taking nothing
away. You get 4 verses for some, you know what I mean? Sometimes 5.
That's what it needs. There you go. You gonna get this work. You gonna understand. You gonna learn today. And it's like, sometimes it's a one-hitter quitter. I did a whole joint when we were talking about, one time I was talking on Twitter, and we were talking about one-hitter quitters. You know, communism. Ugh.
Right.
You know, J. Rule, one day, one verse. Hold that.
Yeah.
And business was handled. But, you know, if it need more than that, I'm at it. You know, there's a lot of things today that are different, and it's like, I'm not for or against nothing. Like, I love the craft, so I'm gonna see, like, what's the effect? You know what I mean? Did the job get done? You know what I mean? It's like cats don't have hooks.
Yeah. Yeah. I still might like it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I might still love it.
I might not.
You know what I mean? I might not too. I might be like, yo, that joint might could use a little hook there.
Yeah, you need something. I mean, it goes back to what you were saying before, man. It's either a piece of work, piece of art, a piece of shit, man. For real.
Yeah, like, you know, and the piece of work, you know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, man, it is work. So when a cat is out there and even talking shit, like, it's work for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's work for me, you know, because at the end of the day, it's just like, if it's not a new style or a concept that I haven't, you know, addressed before, I'm gonna work these bars.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Not
And
intentional.
if it's just that, I take my hat off, you know, because you were like, yo, sometimes I just rhyme and I'm just putting that bar work in there. I'm like, yo, respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's respect either way. You know what I mean? A piece of shit, except if it's a piece of shit, then you go somewhere with that.
In that case, you might want to take notes. We can get into that song next, actually. Taking notes was the next one. I thought that was a pretty good segue. No,
It was.
I'm just playing around anyway. So no, but let's really get into taking notes, man. I like this one a lot too, man. And then we're gonna have you pick one after that if that's cool.
No doubt.
All right, cool. Let's get into taking notes, everyone.
Yep, Breeze Brewing.
Feeling stuck and fed up and good morning my class. Really thinking good morning my ass, little knuckleheads. The students are rude, no. Students is dudes in the go between part enemies and part mini-me's. But the brothers equipped for sure, he's seeing it on some OTB and it's nothing but love for the kids. Welcome to middle school, we're helping them little fools. Mostly gon' be this isn't cool until it's getting cruel. Mr. Top of the list of the optimistics, trying to resist that he got it twisted. Listening to teachers lounge talking so hopeless, no focus, no karma, even seeing Obama. He beat them sounds off and getting tight, stress on the chest, getting the best of him. Feeling like he getting through less and less of the lesson and mad at the janitor. Sense of accomplishment after cleaning, getting him wanting and having sweeping up. Taking notes, picking up the doorways, figuring it ain't just loose trash. Taking notes, thinking gotta show a way, getting them to take a new path. Ask for the balanced breakfast checklist. A mess, it ain't Wheaties. Ask some little kids be staying greedy with Cheetos, Doritos, chips of all kind with the pork rinds. Water or a soda, kids thinking it's all fine. Like they eat at parties, diet far from complete. If you are what you eat, you wanna feed them Smarties. Or that junk food, you are what you eat adage can't come true. But it's hard to defeat them and as he demanded attention. Then he giving them grief, but you will be having attention. They saying, Mr. You beastin'. Brother on a tear, he really working at learning them. Loving it, he swear that he converting to learning them. Studious, now he think he teaching off his gluteus. Truly this is wonderful, wanna do his duty just to see him writing and be exciting. But after the class, papers crumpled up, has him saying what the what. Taking notes, picking up the doorways, figuring it ain't just loose trash. Taking notes, thinking gotta show a way, getting them to finally his time to say kids are done stumping them. Get to that uncrumpling the paper, he gon' find that way to see where they mind at. Seeking he find some real ill sneaker design. Of course he passed a few talking on the glass duties. Things he once stated but bringing it updated. They want fame, they LeBron James be his Jordan with kids, let's just face it. Some things are just basic, Lil Wayne like his Big Daddy Kane, real important. But then it's getting hard like seeing the R.I.P. and next to the gang affiliate Vex, but he have to get a grip. He learned about cash, who bout it? Who gonna shine, seeing conversions from grams to ounces to dollar signs. Then he feel hopeless, getting a charged sermon as he read an ill note with regret of a non-virgin. After what he's searching through, now it's really irking through. Got a lot of work to do, lot of work to do, y'all. Taking notes, picking up the doorways, figuring it ain't just loose trash. Taking notes, thinking gotta show a way, getting them to take a new path.
Yeah.
So yo, is that a sample in the background, or did you play that female voice?
No, I
play
did
the female
not do
voice
that
up?
beat. I cannot take
Oh, okay.
credit.
Okay.
Shout out
That's
to Parallel Thought, man. They laced me.
Yeah, that's a crazy beat right there. You killed it.
Thank you.
In terms of the so talk about the importance of was it important to you when you became a teacher to be representation for young Black males? Was that part of your decisioning in becoming a teacher, or what reasons maybe were there?
Most definite.
Yeah.
That joint, you know, like I didn't have I had one Black teacher before college. My formative years, I had one Black teacher, and it was Bug, because he was I still remember him. He was from Libya. And so he was very light skinned, but he made it a point to be like, I'm African, I'm from Libya.
Right.
And I feel like once he told us that, they fired him.
Yo, shit.
I honestly,
I wasn't expecting it to go that way, but
I was like, "Where's Mr. So-and-so? Oh, he's not working with us anymore." I was
so
like,
you Libyan,
"Okay,
huh?
alrighty then."
Damn, man.
So, you know, like to be, when I first started teaching, I'm from the Northeast Bronx, and there's a school in the area which is very famous, even for its production of hip hop. The first middle school where I taught is called John Philip Sousa.
Okay.
And Slick Rick went there, AG went there, and countless others. But
right.
You know, but it definitely it's all Black.
Right.
And to go to I went to the Catholic school down the block, which was also pretty much, and by the time I graduated, it became all Black.
Right.
And I would go to the middle school where I was on, you know, like if I had an off day for you know, being a Catholic school, I would literally go to that school and go into the school and go into the classes. And sometimes I would get through the day where they're like, "You don't go here." Like I would literally sneak into the school just to hang out with some of my friends who went there, and chill. And they would not notice that I was a student. So this school had problems. And I ended up teaching there. I remember the first day I went to the school, I was, you know, part of something called the Teaching Fellows. So I needed to find a school. And what happened was I was driving by the school and everybody was coming out of the school. So I was like, "What's going on?" And they were like, "Oh, well, there's a scare, an anthrax scare." So I was like, "Okay, this sounds like a good day for me to go in." So I went in the day they had the anthrax scare and got a job because everybody else was leaving. So
wow.
Yeah, that's literally how I got my job, my first teaching job. The day they had an anthrax scare at MS 142, I went in and asked for a job, and they were like, "Wow, you really want to work here?" I was like, "Hey, y'all here? The kids are here.
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna give it a shot." And
I'm not scared of anthrax.
I ain't worried about that. It's probably powder.
Right.
Let's just get it. And I needed to find a placement, or I couldn't stay in the program. And this was 6 blocks from my house.
Okay.
So I was thinking for convenience, and it just happened to line up like that. So literally the kids in the class that I took over, December 2003, the teacher, legend has it, that the teacher had it so much one day that he left the school one day, and the next day he was back on a flight to Jamaica. He did not only leave the school, he left the country.
Damn. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, so and honestly, I got in there. The kids, they were wild, but they were
Mhm.
cool. They reminded me of my dudes,
Right.
and a lot of kids reminded me of me. Quiet,
Mhm.
keep to themselves, do their work, because I was a serious student.
Right.
And honestly, as being a teacher of color, it definitely I think the kids appreciated it. I think a lot of the kids appreciated it.
Right.
Because I appreciated them, and
Sure.
it wasn't but like 5 years later that I started getting the ideas for taking notes, by literally picking up student notes, like
Okay.
after class. Like I would pick up like, oh snap, let me see what's on this.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, it'd be like kids just talking, rhyming, drawing designs of sneakers, and the other ones were serious, like poems, like messages, like, yo, keep your head up, don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. And these are notes that kids are passing to each other. So it wasn't always just like, what color your panties,
Right.
See, I would find a couple of those too.
I
Shout
mean, it's
out
high
to
school,
the young
right?
dirtbags, you know what I mean? Like, and I definitely hope my lessons help them to be more well-rounded individuals, because
Yeah.
I was worried about some of y'all for good reason.
Oh, excuse me. That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
funny.
but yeah, man, taking notes, man. I'm really proud of that song. I feel
I like that song a lot.
It encapsulated my emotions and my feelings. And it's a nod to them,
Yeah. So my daughter wants. Oh, sorry.
It's love hate. It's love hate with your kids,
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say my daughter's a junior in high school and wants to be a teacher. What's some advice you would give somebody who wants to be a teacher going into that profession? I'm just curious.
Now, 18 years in, it's something that they'll say it's when you're talking about your lessons, less is more. Less is more. You definitely want to, you want to be able to get through the lesson and give the room a minute to breathe before you let them go.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm still and I still struggle with it, because you
gotta get so much in there too. Yeah.
In teaching, you don't need a third verse.
Yeah.
You don't need a third verse to teach.
That's word.
You know what I mean?
They like, yo, we heard the first two. Well, we heard the first two.
So it's like you definitely want to get enough to pique their interest and to have them practice. And sometimes day one, if it's really an interesting concept, you just let them know what it is and give them the whole of day 2 to practice. So you get the feel for that after a while. What needs 2 days? What needs 1 day?
Sure.
What needs a whole week?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's exciting. Like teaching to me is interesting. In a way, it's performative.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
When you're presenting, it's like, all right, cool, this and that, and especially these days, because it's a brave new world. I don't know if we'll ever go back to traditional teaching. Even when we're back in the room, there's gonna be remnants of this era. Like this era right now, COVID, remote, has changed the dynamic of teaching forever.
Right.
So if your daughter's in high school, she probably could, really hook up a nice TikTok. Use it.
Right.
Use it. Put that in there. Let that be part of the lesson.
Right.
Have that joint in there. And the cool shit is, like, once you have that TikTok about, subject verb agreement, you always have that TikTok subject verb agreement.
Right.
So it's like, as you keep amassing these lessons, back them up, put them on a couple of hard drives, and before you know it, my first couple of years, I mean, that was a down period musically, because I was giving my all to teaching. Right. So you couldn't, there wasn't much else going on.
Was that an easy transition because of the type of hard worker and how diligent you were with music, or was it a hard transition? You know what I'm saying? How difficult was it?
It was difficult because there's just so many hats you wear as a teacher. Mm-hmm. It's like you're a motivator, you're an expert in whatever you are teaching. That part was easy for me as far with English, but even so, there's things that you learn,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, it's the little things that make a writer a good writer. You know, the same way we look at balls and like, oh, see, he did this and that. That's the same shit with writing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yo, look how he freaked that, subordinate clause. Like, ooh,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that when I first started. Now it's like, I don't even want to go to a party. It's like the shit that's in my mind and I'm thinking about them. I'm hearing the way people speak and I'm like,
Yeah.
You didn't even finish your thought. You didn't even finish your thought.
Yeah, I'm horrible at correcting people with English, man. I'm like that myself.
It happens up here. It happens up here. And at the end of the day, I'm not judging nobody, but it's like I'm thinking about the word itself. And the word deserves better.
Right. That's funny. So what was your favorite track, or which one is one you'd want to play? I already asked you favorite, but which one is one you want to play? That's where we're at about now with the music.
Honestly, I think iPopper.
Okay.
If we're gonna play one that I could pick that we haven't played, because y'all been picking joints, and honestly, there's other joints we could talk about.
Yeah, sure. And
it's bug like we haven't talked about the ramen joints, and shout out to Gotta Love It, and shout out to Translated, but man, them concepts they be calling me.
I love those. We didn't have much time we'd have, so we didn't want to take up the whole album, so that's why we kind of
I like that. And honestly, I think
make people go get it too.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, like the fact that people pick different songs, even I'll get my notifications like, yo, we just played Keep It Up. Sure. And I'm like, dope. You know what I mean? It's like, it feels like there's not too many skippers. And from at least from the public perspective, to me, there's none.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of that, people really gravitate to different joints.
Yeah, it's interesting. It gives you a perspective on what you write,
and that's extremely satisfying as an artist.
Yeah.
To try to give people a body of work, and they're like, "Yo, PPT is my joint," or Mentor, and I'm like, that's why I do it.
Right. Yeah. Different perspectives.
So I feel very good about that. And I think even, beyond, as the Juggaknots, we always would strive for that.
Right. Okay.
So to be able to continue that solo feels very good, to continue to represent that.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer solo or collaborate with other people, whether it be producers, whether it be other rappers?
I mean, I've been collaborating my entire life. So to be able to do the solo, that felt good.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna front. I feel I can be more solo.
Right. Yeah, because you don't have to talk to anybody about it. You just form the ideas and do it, right? Like
even in regards to the production, like y'all picked 2 joints that I produced. So that feels good. And I think if I challenge myself, I wouldn't mind doing a whole album that I produce. I mean, a lot of my friends have done. I think about like LP. And then I think about some of my favorite albums of all time was self-produced throughout. Brownsville Car, like, wow,
Right.
The amount of music albums he's done that he's just produced and then, by himself. Salute.
Right.
And it's just another challenge. Like, if you don't get challenged by doing this, then why are you doing it?
Yeah. So always upgrading too, you know what I mean, and getting better.
Yeah, try to do something that you haven't done, so that later when you do your application,
right,
you could be like, self-produce this one.
Right. That's what's up, though. That's dope.
And
that's
it's
dope.
like, it's a craft, and you want to show that you care about the craft. And there's things I can't do. I can't tag. I got no tag. I can't tag to save my life, but I love it. I'm a fan.
Right. Yeah. That's what's up.
But I can, I think I can produce. I think I can rhyme. I think I can execute. And I'm gonna keep trying to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. So talk about iPopper. I think I heard you say somewhere else that it was semi-autobiographical.
Somewhat autobiographical. Peace, Connecticut.
well, let's how about we'll peep it and then you can talk about it. How about that? Let's play it and then you can talk about was,
No
you
doubt.
know, how semi. But let's roll. Let's run it. That cool.
All right, this
No
is
doubt.
I Papa, Breeze Brewin.
Really need you. How can you be so bad? Just because it's beautiful and dresses up so bad.
We talking love at first or utter thirst? I can't call it. Breeze Brewin. Yeah. Her style was sex, stallion-esque. Matter of fact, better than crack, bows the flesh. Now's the test. Excuse me, miss. Oh, you excuse? Yeah, rude. My dude be pissed, yet he steady pursuing boo when he hooked, and you know the purpose. Shorty gotta be goddess, he looking below the surface. Probably not as he was stuck on the pinup missing. Fuck what I give up. Listen, give up your body, nobody hotter. She got all the apple bummers to mention. Had him stunned to detention, which ain't see honey wanted, so maybe something was on. It was a dinner and a movie. Beginning to prove he really worthy of the curve. He swear he getting that booty. I'm saying damn as he fiender. I'm saying she mean, but really next to be the text and he playing Anthony Weiner and that candidate I can't relate. About to be the dropout. I doubt that he can stop now. I see that. Her body popping out her dress. I pop her. Your eyes be popping out your head. I pop her. I pop her. She's a I pop her. She's a I pop her. Your eyes could be real deceiving. Your eyes gonna hurt your feelings. She's a Get a clue, really weak. Y'all scheduled to even speak, and otherwise it's corny text. Brother kinda horny, vexing, damn he feeling blitzed by this badass bombshell. Now he handling his business until his palms swelling, steady struggling. Inside his mind's a calm hell, and it be pummeling his pride. The vibe, the charm's dead, and now his campaign on some strictly ready for the Betty. She like abstain, yeah he thinking jelly on her belly, but her non-touch policy kinda like museums. He beyond done. Wanna be finding some new freedom, but still, he just craving her image. She too sweet and he wanna be sex slave, and he wanna say who needs her. Then look at what this flirt do. Fella get a text talking about nah, she don't deserve you. Shit meant for her ex and then this wasn't trying to hurt you. Mrs. apologizing, his vision is kinda blinding. Because of her body popping out her dress. I pop her. Your eyes be popping out your head. I pop her. I pop her. She's a I pop her. She's a I pop her. Your eyes could be real deceiving. Your eyes gonna hurt your feelings. She's a For real it's funny, yes, knowing which women is down to rock. Can't do the sunny test, cause all the whips with the power locks. And like collagen though, you wanna know, a brother got a great one? Well if you got a joint that's not nothing more than some great buns. You might love the cover, inside there's a lot of typos that can have a brother uttering lines sounding kinda psycho and quite low. Any peace of mind you can't find it how it might go when you see that sight of leave you blinded.
You say you produced that one?
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, okay,
I wish
okay.
I could take credit.
I can't remember if you said that or not. Who's
Nah,
that
my
one?
man. That's my man Megalo, which is
Okay.
crazy. Funny as it is, I met him through teaching.
Oh, okay.
He was a
That's
guidance
wild.
counselor in a school I was teaching at in Brooklyn, in Red Hook, Brooklyn. He still
Okay.
works there. I don't. I'm in the Bronx again.
That's wild. Okay. And how'd y'all come about knowing that y'all both did music if you don't talk about it at school? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
real
curious.
Real talk. We had a meeting. We have professional development every Monday.
Okay.
So it's after school and you whatever, and you'll have a thing, and you're talking about the kids, or you're talking about your approaches to teaching.
Right.
So I'm talking, and he's just like, I see him look at me, and then after he was like, "Yo, I know who you are."
Like
and
That's hilarious.
I was like, "What? Come on, man, you Breeze Brewin."
That's funny. Oh man.
And he was like, your voice, it just clicked. We're talking, and we talking about, whatever, like, how we're setting a parent-teacher conference. And I'm like, yo,
Right.
It's Breeze Brewin talking about parent-teacher conference.
Right.
It's not Paul no more, And I was like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I make beats. And, certain times you have to job him. The cat's like, yo, I make beats. And like, all right, cool.
Did you? Yeah, you're like, sure you do.
But
right?
but real talk, the couple of cats.
But he's nasty. That was a cold ass beat right there.
That shit is cold.
Yeah.
And he got more joints. So it was like, I was like, all right, cool. He played me the joint. I was like, okay. The only thing that wasn't in there was the Biggie sample.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay.
No, that we ended up imitating Biggie.
Yeah. Biggie.
Not the original.
The Biggie sample.
That was us imitating him.
Yeah,
with our
voices. Of course. Yeah. Okay.
So like I heard that joint and I was like, back to what we talking about, autobiographical.
Right.
Yeah. It was I may or may not have been a dude who may or may not was trying to holler at a young lady and it didn't work out.
All right.
Now there definitely was some hyperbole added to it.
Of course.
But L is a L is a L. And sometimes you gotta use your L's, and you gotta make fun of yourself and
of course.
And then thank God for this thing we have called hip hop that you can take an L and turn it into a W. So
yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that track is definitely super dope. I feel like it's one of them joints that could, be played in the club and people, be grooving, like, in terms of the mood of it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's the storytelling, the way people are now, but I could see that being that for me, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nah, I hear you because I've been in the club and Pass Me By comes on and
right.
You know what I mean? And you there chilling and you nice and cozy with somebody and y'all both there stop singing, drinks up, my dear, and y'all there with the girl and y'all like, that's when you know she a keeper.
Right.
yeah.
She's
That's
singing the Fat Lip verse. Like,
right.
What you doing later?
Yeah. So what's new for you coming up, man? Like, is there anything you're working on again? I mean, are you just pushing this album for a little while? Is there some secrets you can tell us?
Yeah, I mean, this album's out, and it's I'm here talking to y'all about it. So
of course,
good things have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't.
Anything we can look forward to?
Yeah. I got an EP with the producer of two of the tracks off of this album. The dude who produced Gotta Love It and Road Rage is my man Seb Bash.
Okay.
And he's killing right now. He did he's done a heater for Crime Apple. He did a joint for Rome Streets. Okay. He's the truth. Shout out to Switzerland.
I like Road Rage beat a lot. About Road Rage, we didn't bring that up about that song. I thought it was real interesting, the video, man. I thought after hearing the song, then I watched the video. I'm like, this is pretty funny because you're not driving. You know what I mean? Well, you are, but the story is like basically you're irritated with fucking just regular people. It's not even that shit. I'm watching it like, oh, he's just irritated at motherfuckers. It wasn't even.
Road rage is a metaphor for dealing with irritation, because we deal with that. That's something that I think there's certain things that as an American culture and a world culture, like traffic sucks. You know what I mean? And all traffic is it's life cock blocking. You know what I mean? When you think about it.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with life cock blocking and the road rage? And I just try to put it out there. So that joint is like a full song metaphor about dealing with shit like that. And I think he rocked the beat. And shout out to Ayana Maia, who Salisbury, who is a great, director out of New York, out of Chicago originally.
Okay.
She stay in BK now.
Was that her
she got-
concept? Or did y'all collaborate
Yes,
on that concept?
that was
okay.
We collaborated, but she definitely
Came to you.
came up with the idea like, okay, you driving and then you on the train and then whatever. And
Yeah.
It's just like, man, fuck it.
Yo,
Just stress.
when dude comes in your face on the train and you like
Yeah,
I mean, I was dying on that part. Man.
That shit was hilarious. But
Yeah.
definitely I got a project with Seb coming up.
Okay.
Well, I it's a bit more inverted from this one. It's an EP, so
what
it's
do you
not,
mean by
it's
that?
not an album.
What do you mean inverted though?
I'm talking my shit. I'm talking my talk.
All righty.
So it's more like just like
That's what's
bars. And
Okay.
then there's like
I like that shit though.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you might could like this one.
y'all got a title for that? Yeah.
Not yet. But we do have the music. He is mixing it. And I do have one concept joint on there.
Okay. And target date or any
just
time maybe? Y'all just starting.
I think it's summer. We might be able to get it out by possibly June.
Okay. Oh, okay. Soon. Okay, that's what's up, man.
If the pressing plants work right, I mean, with Record Store Day, things are a little backed up.
Sure.
Because cats are doing like their pet projects for Record Store Day. I ain't doing none of that. I'm just, the projects come when the projects come.
All right.
But that joint I'm definitely excited about. I got some dope collabos coming up. I don't want to leak them just out of respect to the plans of whoever, what they want to do. But
yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, we get it, yo. I'm just playing. I'm joking.
I'm not even gonna lie though, man. Like this record, this Hindsight record, after even going over the songs and listening to the record, I feel like this album and you have actually inspired me to go back to trying to do more concepts, to be honest.
That's what's up.
I love concept records like that.
And I know my dude Ram, he does do a lot of concepts. Me, like I'm a bar dude, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I used to do more concept songs back in the day, and I feel like I lost sight of that because I've done so many bar joints, you know what I'm saying? Like over time. And seriously, listen to this album, going over the concept joints. I'm like, man, you've inspired me to go back and work some concepts.
Man, that means a lot, man. I mean, I definitely I think, I hear the concept joints and out and they inspire me. I wish there were more of them across the board.
I agree, man.
But maybe we could just sit down and like come up with like the top 500 concept joints of all time, because they you notice them, you know what I mean? Like they stick out a little bit.
Yeah.
For different reasons, you know?
Yeah. Well, you were saying earlier the challenge of it, and that's one reason I've always personally liked writing concept songs or songs with a theme like that, where you have to stick to something because it puts you in this box, and you have to figure out how to make it big in that little box, right? In a sense. And like, for instance, I have one called Truth, Love, Joy. That's probably one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I met a man named Truth, a woman they call Love, and they married and made a child named Joy, right? And so it's this dad is Truth, and then the mom's Love, and then the kid is Joy. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote it a while ago, and now I look back at songs like that, and I'm like, I should go remix that. It's old, and the beat, I always feel like I want to go redo some shit or add on to it and get back to concept songs myself. I mean, I do a lot of concept stuff, but yeah. So it's refreshing to hear other rappers and MCs these days do that, like he's saying, man. Yeah. So salute to that. You know what I'm saying?
Salute to y'all. I definitely appreciate just building on the craft.
Sure.
This is probably the first joint where we went and actually listened to the songs and like in the moment, and I found that dope.
Hey, thank you, man.
Word up,
Love it. Thank you, man. That's we when we started this, that was the point. Like we want to sit down with the artists, play the songs, see how they came about to make these songs and what was going through their head, their creative process. It's kind of the point. I just love doing this shit myself, so I always want to know how other people did it. You know what I mean? And what they thought the process was like. So it's dope. Appreciate you having me, man.
Very dope. Dope building with y'all. Like,
Word,
dope,
man. Good to meet you.
dope format. Like, salute to y'all.
What's up? Salute. That means a whole lot, bro. Appreciate it, man. For sure. Yo, tell everybody where they can find you. You know what I'm saying, on Instagrams and all that.
Breeze Brewin. Instagram, that's my main joint. I'm on Twitter too.
Okay.
And definitely y'all can hit up the Juggaknots joint. That's where Matic Records lives. Where we that's the crew. That's me and my family. And you know, we're an independent label.
Yep.
And we still learning that and enjoying that process.
Yeah. Do you? One last question, quick, man. Do you prefer? Oh, by the way, y'all can go to Bandcamp and get the Hindsight album. Specifically, go to Bandcamp. I know it's on other platforms, but go buy that joint.
That's the Juggaknots. Go to the Juggaknots Bandcamp, and you'll find it there.
But do you prefer? I know you was on a label back in the day, like a main, a bigger label. Do you prefer being independent as opposed to a label?
I think in this day and age,
everybody's pretty
pretty independent.
Yeah. Right.
Like I don't know why. I mean, back in the day, I got a joint called Someday. We did some years back where it was like, I wanted to get signed to Prism.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I wanted to, it was, and some of that is like, I would liken it to making a team. You know what I mean? Like, as you growing up and you look at the Yankees and eventually you end up playing for the Yankees.
Yeah, that's an interesting analogy. Yeah.
That might have been the Def Jam for us coming up. I don't
absolutely.
know about them now,
absolutely.
but
right.
But and I feel like I've been on some slick teams. I've been on, we were signed to East West Electra. And then it feel like they, by the time we got there, they were in a rebuilding process.
Right.
And then and then you look at even being on Fondulum.
Mm-hmm.
And then later to be on Amalgam.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought, the good dudes at the helm, but they were pretty new in that arena. So like to be in control of it now, man, there's work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The labels are even as an independent, there's a lot of work that goes into that. And shout to my brother, Kev Fever, AKM, formerly known as Buddy Slim, and Queen Heroin, who was just the Queen Heroin.
Shout out to them, yo. Appreciate her and him for helping us out on this too.
Yeah, because they were the plug. So I mean, this is what we doing. We are definitely want to continue, and we got some other projects. Shout out to my man Ray Folks from Indigio. We put out his project right before mine.
Okay, dope. Okay.
And and there'll be more from us.
Right on, man. We might have to bring some of y'all as a group, maybe y'all unit. Y'all might have to come back on here if y'all.
We definitely could. I mean, honestly, I think they dig it. This is a slick format, man.
What's up, man?
Appreciate shout out
that.
To y'all.
You just made my night, man. Appreciate you, man.
No, man. Thank you.
Good to meet you.
Yeah,
it's been Pick Apart the Passion podcast. And I always say, like my dad always says, is it better to be right or kind? And I'll leave y'all with that, man. Peace, everybody. Let's keep it moving.
Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick the passion. Pick the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. 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 Pick apart the passion. Passion.